Man, I'll never be as cool as Mr. Strange or Captain America. I am so sad. I think I'm going to cry.
Ah, no, Magneto, bro, don't cry. You're so cool, yeah. You're so fucking cool, bro.
Oh my god, Mr. Strange, do you really mean that? Oh.
Magneto, totally, bro. Yeah, you're so good.
Oh my god, I can't believe it. Mr. Strange said I was cool. What about you, Captain America? What do you think about me?
Yo, Magneto, I'm gonna be straight up. I think you're a fucking weirdo. I wish you would quit talking to me. And also, why does Doctor Strange sound like that? What the fuck is happening right now?
Don't go there, bro.
So yeah, Magneto isn't the coolest or flashiest tank, but he is, in my opinion, the most consistent, even more consistent than Mr. Strange or Doctor Strange. I think he is probably one of the most consistent tanks in the game. So in this video, I want to go over basic playstyle, some tips and tricks, and just some niche, maybe techs here and there. This is my guide to Magneto in Marvel Rivals. So I think a lot of people get Magneto and Strange kind of mixed up. I think people pick Strange thinking, oh, okay, poke tank, kind of sit in the back, chill, you know. Strange is more of a brawl tank. You know, he is in the fight more. He's played a lot closer, whereas Magneto is that poke tank where he's going to be, you know, medium distance is where he's most lethal. When people run up on him, he really struggles. So Magneto's main playstyle is like pokey from distance, just putting out consistent damage. With that said, let's take a deep dive into Magneto's abilities. First, we'll just go over his basic abilities. So first up, we have Magneto's primary. It's called Iron Volley. It has a 25-meter maximum range. Once it hits its maximum range, it will explode. So this is about as far as you can go. If I go any further, oh, it has 25. I didn't know that. The projectile itself does 35 damage, and then the explosion does 40 damage. I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, it's just primary. It's very consistent. If you guys didn't know already, you always want to aim to the right to people. It's much easier, and especially with Strange, you don't have to hit them directly. You can also, like I said, it's like an explosion, but you do want to hit them directly if you can. One thing to note here is the closer you are to people, it's going to be harder to show this in a practice range setting, but if someone's running at you and they're like directly on you, it's going to be very hard to hit them. So you always want to keep distance from people. All right, next up we have Magneto's shield. It's called Metallic Curtain. So something very unique about Magneto's shield is that it has unlimited health, but it is on a timer. So it has a maximum of 100 energy. Energy cost is 50 per second, so you can hold your shield up for 2 seconds. And then the recharge on that is 11 seconds. So
insignificant gnats.
And then you can see the bar on the right hand corner there. It's going to take 11 seconds to fully charge up. What I like to do with this ability is save it for an ultimate that I know is going to happen, or as a last case scenario, say they force my bubble, and then I'm almost dead, I'll hold my shield and like back out. Other than that, I'm not using it a whole bunch aggressively. I'm mainly saving it for ultimates. Okay, next up we have Mag's Bubble. I think you guys are going to notice a common theme around this. A lot of Mag's abilities are like very defensive, so like shields. But yeah, so the bubble is called Metal Bulwark. Now, Bulwark? I don't know. So you can either place it on an ally, or you can cast it on yourself. Now, it does have a 12-second cooldown, so you do want to use it, you know, smartly. You don't just want to spam it when you don't need it. Another thing to note here is that it has 300 health, and when you take, for each 100 damage you take, you get a ring back. You can see I'm getting a ring back on my back right there, and that is for your other ability. That is something, you don't really play around that so much. It is just a nice like passive thing to know about. Alright, so next up we have Magneto's next ability, which is called Mag Cannon. And it's probably like the funnest thing about Magneto in my opinion, because he is kind of a very bland tank. So his Mag Cannon is this. It is a projectile that you shoot out. First ring does 40 damage, the second ring does 65, and then the third ring does 90. So it doesn't have a cooldown, but you do need to have at least one ring to be able to shoot it. So this ring would do 45, this ring would do 65, And then the final ring does 90. And then when it's fully charged, when I have all 3 rings and it's fully charged, it does a 6-meter knockback. This is very helpful for... I mainly find myself using it to peel for my supports if there's like a pesky Spider-Man or a pesky Iron Fist or a Wolverine that's coming after you. And they're jumping around and like they're being all crazy, especially if you like can pin them up against the wall, like it really stuns them. And that's gonna kind of be your combo. Is like throw your mag cannon, shoot, and kill them. But yeah, not a whole lot about that. Like you don't want to spam it off cooldown per se, but you do want to use it pretty much every time it's up. Even if it's just one ring, because sometimes that extra 40 damage is like, it's enough, you know?
Exactly as I expected.
Alright, then finally we have Mag's ult. Mag's ult is called Meteor M. Wow. So Mag's ult is a bit interesting. When you pop it, what's going to happen is that there's going to be a radius around you, 15-meter radius, that it will project all incoming projectiles. So think Iron Man's ult, Punisher's ult, bullets in general. And there is a certain amount of damage that it can take before it will break. So I'm going to pop it real quick. You can see the circle around it is just the timer in general. And then you can see the number underneath the circle. Those are the projectiles that I'm eating, basically. And I'll show this in another video, like a live video of me playing, to better show an example. But say I'm over here and I have 0 and I throw it, it's not gonna kill anyone. So what you want to do is absorb damage, get some damage, to be able to kill some people, and throw it. And I'm gonna be straight up, to be honest, you should almost solely be using his ult as a damage absorption ult. So like you would use it if a Punisher pops his ult, if you can hear the Iron Man ult, and if you can absorb it, you do it, or if you're like about to die, you pop it to like absorb damage. Otherwise, it's like it's not super good at like doing damage and getting a kill, because likely what's gonna happen is there's gonna be so fucking much damage that it's just gonna explode before you can even like throw it at anything, or there's gonna be like 2 shields in front of your face. Like it's gonna be hard to like even be able to even kill anything with it. One thing I will say though is that if you see a cloak ulting and she does her like slide thing, and when she's like still, if you throw it at her while she's still, it will kill her. So that's another reason to pop it. You would mainly be popping your ult as a defensive, if that makes sense. Then I want to add like Magneto's passive, which is just called Magnetic Descent. It's literally just means that you can float, like when you jump off of height, basically. So you just float down very slowly. Kind of cool. It is worth whenever like a Jeff eats you up, spits you out, and he's stupid and doesn't like kill himself with you. But other than that, it's kind of eh. Alright, and then Magneto's team-up ability is called Metallic Fusion, which is basically you take out your sword and then it shoots out projectiles. Projectile itself does 60 damage, and then the explosion does 35 damage. So you can see that I wasn't necessarily having to shoot them directly. I can also just shoot at the side of them. Their team up is okay. I mean, it's not the best. It was better in the beta, but right now it's not, you know, it is nice just to have an extra source of damage, especially like a decent range damage. Like sometimes like I'll use it to like poke out supports, you know? But yeah, don't sleep on it. Use it if you have it, but if you don't, it's not a big deal. Alright, so now that we got the boring part out of the way, we can talk about basically Magneto's like main like playstyle. So his main playstyle is going to be putting out consistent pressure and damage. You do want to do this on supports if possible, but because you are like a frontline tank with not a whole lot of mobility, it's going to be difficult at times. But if you can shoot at the supports, shoot at the supports. If you can't, shoot at who you can, you know, default to the tank, put a lot of pressure on them. But then if you see an opportunity to be able to kill someone else, you know, shoot at the DPS if you can. But you always just want to be putting out consistent pressure, making sure that you're throwing stun, making sure that you get big value on that. The most important thing is that you just want to stay alive. Don't want to go too far in and die. You know, you want to be like that presence on the battleground, basically. Okay, next I want to show a clip of how you can use your ult effectively instead of just popping it and throwing it and not getting a kill. This clip is going to show me using it to kill a cloak as she's ulting, and I throw it as soon as she's done sliding and she's standing still for a second. You can throw it and get a free kill on her. Check it out.
Us against the world.
Fear Magneto!
I learned
Nice.
that if she ults, you can ult as Magneto. So yeah, you can see that is one way to use Magneto's ult, and you kind of want to use it that way. Just like I was saying, you don't want to use it. You're not always going to get a kill with it. If you're popping it with the sole intention of getting a kill with it, well, I have bad news for you, because a lot of times it's going to get busted before you can even throw it. So you want to either use it on a ulting cloak, like I did in that clip. Another way that you can use his ult is you can use it as a, for instance, if a Shark is ulting, or if Strange is about to ult, you can use it to get out of the like LOS of the ult. And I'll show a clip of that right now. Smoking crack. You're so bad.
By the eye of Agamotto!
So yeah, I'm showing these clips because it took me a very long time to learn how to use Magneto's ult correctly. I would always pop it and then either hold on to it too long or pop it for like no reason other than to like get a kill. And it always ended up with me not getting a kill. So you always want to use it very defensively. You want to use it definitely if the cloak is ulting and you can kill her, use it because it's a guaranteed kill. You also want to use it to escape other tanks' ults or just players' ults in general, like Shark ult or like Strange ult, like I showed in that clip. And then you also want to use it to absorb damage. So if you're about to die, you want to pop it just to stay alive. Like I said, like being a tank, especially Magneto, it's all about staying alive and being a presence, being a constant pressure. That's another reason. And then the final reason you would use his ult is to absorb another ultimate, such as Punisher ultimate. That's like the number one reason to use it. Pop it, absorb his ultimate, throw it at him and kill him. Or you can use it to absorb Iron Man's ult, which can be a little bit more tricky because sometimes you aren't playing directly next to your team, and oftentimes the Iron Man will ult like your back line and you're not going to be near your back line. But if you can absorb it, do it. Those are like the main reasons you would use your ult. Don't use it offensively, use it defensively, and you're guaranteed more of a kill. I know that sounds counterproductive, but it's just how his ult works. So that pretty much wraps up Magneto. I mean, he's a very sturdy, very consistent, but also kind of, in my opinion, a very boring tank. He doesn't do a whole lot of fun things. You know, he's not like Cap where you get to run around and play like a mini game of cat and mouse. He's not like Venom where you're constantly going in, you know, getting out, but he's consistent. I wanted to make this video just because I think a lot of people misplay him or maybe misunderstand his ult. So I hope some of that information has helped at least somebody. How'd I do on my video, guys? Do y'all like it? If you like it, subscribe and like the video. If you do not like it, dislike it and leave me a nasty comment about how stupid I am. But yeah, thank you guys for watching.